Hello, hello. I'm Coin Maker from coinringmaker.com. If you've never seen me before, I make coins into rings, and today is going to be kind of a 2-for-1 new thing going on. So first of all, we've got a new round. I've never worked on this one before. It's a Medusa round from the Anonymous Mint. I think it's going to come out super cool. I really like the design on the outside, and the detail on the snakes is also really nice. So I think this is going to make a great ring. I'm also going to be testing a few deburring tools. I've tried a couple in the past, like these. This one's General. This one's Milwaukee. It was okay. And this is just a random one I got on Amazon. But I got a couple more to test out. These are all from Amazon. And this one too. So I'm going to be testing these out on this coin ring and kind of seeing which one I like the best. So first thing we got to do is punch a hole in our coin. So we're going to get ready to do that. While I work, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And thanks for stopping by and watching me work. Going to be using a 5/8 inch punch. This is a pretty big coin. It's a 1 ounce fine silver round. So I get that set up there. Lay down a little protective paper towel. And then this is an auto centering tool. So getting the hole in the middle of your coin ring is like super important. So this is kind of cone shaped on the top. So as we tighten this down, it's going to auto center our coin right in the middle. What I recommend to find your ring size is just visiting any local jewelry store. They're going to be the best and most accurate option. There's a lot of really dumb ways to get your ring size on the internet. That's what I recommend. Go to a professional who's been sizing people in the past, who has the equipment. Usually they'll do it for free. Take about 5 or 10 minutes. Probably not even that. Yeah, that's what I recommend. If you've got a jewelry store nearby, just hop in there and ask to get sized. All right, we're going to hammer this on through here. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you're just joining in, we're making a 1 ounce fine silver Medusa round into a ring. I used to think you needed like a big old macho press, like 20, 100 tons, I don't know, to hammer through a 1 ounce round. But you can see right here I used, I don't know, this is probably about a $7, $10 plastic teardrop mallet. And we hammered right through that thing with no issue. Really cool centerpiece there. That'll make a nice necklace or keychain for sure. Let's see how our coin's looking. Look at this. This is cool. There's like a face impression on the paper towel. That's cool. All right, let's check out our coin. So for everybody just joining in here, I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com. I hand make coins into rings. If you'd like to check out the site, again, that's coinringmaker.com. I can also pin it down here for about 5 seconds if y'all want to check that out. If anybody has any questions while I work, feel free to put them in the chat. And thanks for stopping by and watching me work. Snakes are wicked. That's going to look really, really cool. Really nice symmetry on this design. All right, so we've got some new deburring tools that we're going to test out. Got 3 different kinds. I'm just going to pick the one that's easiest to open and give it a whirl. Kind of a chunky handle. Just pop in. All right. So what I use this deburring tool for is after we punch a hole in the middle of the coin, you can see there's a pretty sharp, rough edge on the inside there. So we're just going to cut that away, smooth it out a little bit. So it'll take about 2 minutes. If you got the website while I deburr, it's down here. You can use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10%. And if you have any questions, let me know. This handle is actually really comfortable. And it's cutting pretty good. I mean, so far, no complaints. That's really not bad out of the box. What brand is this? Noga. Alright, Noga's getting a thumbs up. I really like the texture of the handle here. It's really nice. It is a little light. I would like it to be a little heavier. But it's not bad. It's definitely not skipping around or anything. It's cutting really clean. But again, this is fine silver, so this is a pretty soft metal to work with. So I want to test it on like 90% silver, copper clad as well. But so far, I'm really liking it. And like, the blade has a little more secure. I don't know, it's not moving around as much as the other ones. It's pretty good. All right, so now we got the inside there nice and smoothed out. I like to hit it with a little bit. This is 4-0 steel wool. I like to smooth out the inside just a little bit more before I start folding it. If you guys are enjoying this live, make sure to tap the screen a couple times. Again, if anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat. Thanks for watching. If you're like, what in the world's going on here? I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com. I make coins into rings, and today we're working on this 1 ounce fine silver Medusa round. So the next step is to anneal this thing. That's going to soften up the metal, make it a little less brittle, make it easier to fold. I don't work on a lot of foreign coins. I mostly work on US currency for legal reasons. I do have 1 ounce fine silver Libertads on the site. Yeah, I'd rather skip a market and not get in legal trouble. I could probably do some research and see if it's okay to work on Mexican coins or not. But so far I've just done my research with US currency. and like generic silver rounds like this one. Alright, everybody hit the follow button. If you want to, shop link's going to be down here for about 5 seconds, so jump on it real quick. It won't take you out of TikTok. You can still hear me talking stuff, but you can see some of my finished work there. And if you have any questions, let me know. It's looking really, really cool. Yeah, I'll have to do some research on that bed. Now we're going to move over to our 1-ton arbor press over here, and we're going to start folding. Let me get my, Medusa. The center punch is really cool. So this is the center of the coin. Medusa's face. And this owl with the crown on the other side. It's pretty rad. If you ever post anything, I just I got you, bro. No promises. This is a doming block. I'm gonna pop our round in there. Pull out just a little bit. Leonardo just shit. Yeah. Here's our first fold. Pretty cool. Now we gotta find a die big enough to fold it a little bit more. Not drop it on the ground. Again, the shop is going to be linked down here for about 5 seconds if anybody wants to check that out. And if you have any questions, let me know. Make sure we get this nice and level in there. And we're going to get our 17-degree composite folding cone. I like these composite cones compared to metal ones, especially for softer metals like fine silver. It helps preserve the inside detail a lot more. It does get a little marred, but if I was using like a stainless steel cone, it would definitely mash those details up quite a bit more. I get these composite cones from Jason's Works. And like they will wear down over time because it is made out of wood. So you will need to replace them a little faster. But for the preservation of detail, I think they're pretty good. Snaky snakes all over the place. This is the first time I've made this particular round into a ring. So I don't know how it's going to come out. It should be pretty cool though. We're going to make it 9.5. Thanks for the gifts. It's at 13 right now. We're going to shrink it down quite a bit. Thank you very much. And we folded it quite a bit, so we're going to go ahead and anneal it one more time. And again, this is just to kind of soften up the metal, make it less brittle, easier to work with. Try that out real quick. It's looking really cool. Not in Chicago, unfortunately. But go off, man. Have a good time. Alright, so now I'm going to wrap this thing in some Blue Monster tape. This is like a PTFE plumbing tape, but it's a bit tougher than the average white plumbing tape, so I don't have to use as much. I really like it a lot. That's going to help protect the outside details of the coin as we make it a little smaller. Did you find out about using old English silver coins? I don't think I can, because they've got like the vintage of like royalty on them. I don't think I can deface anything that's got like a queen or a king on it. I mostly just stick to U.S. currency or generic rounds. Trying to play it safe. Thanks for the teddy bear. This is called Swedish wrap. It's a 17-degree or a 7-degree die. What we're going to do is we're going to push our ring in here. It's going to make it smaller and a bit more ring shaped. Not quite to the bottom. There we go. You can see it's getting a little smaller, a little bit of a tighter profile. I'm going to throw a little more tape on it. Find a smaller Swedish wrap, and we'll reduce it a little bit more. Once the ring kind of matches the 7-degree angle of the die, there's a lot of touching between the die and the ring itself. It doesn't really want to move anymore. So at that point, I usually flip it over and reduce it the other way. Thanks, man. Yeah, if anybody wants to see some of my finished work, there's a link down here. There's also one on my profile. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to flip it over one more time. Reduce it the other way. And then we'll see how it's looking. Go take a peek at it. pretty sick. Put some snake emojis in the comments if you think this is coming along pretty cool. I think it's looking pretty tight. All right, now on the inside here you can see a pretty big lip. We're going to remove that because it's really uncomfortable. And it throws off the sizing of the ring too. You can see it's a lot tighter where that is compared to the rest of the inside of the ring. So we're going to get our deburring tool and clean that up. It's really tricky to do this because that's quite a chunk of metal, and you got to try and do it without scratching up the inside details here with the blade itself. So wish me luck. I recently had to remake a ring. I scratched up the inside of it real bad. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's coming out really cool. Those little snakes. We can get it to focus. It's also got like her necklace right here, which I think looks really nice. A lot of cool symmetry on this. Yeah, that's gonna make a cool ring. Let's try not to screw it up. Again, y'all can check out the site either by going to my profile or tapping this link down here. If you have any questions, let me know. Sorry, this is kind of the slow, boring part, but bear with me. We'll get through it. It's better to take our time than to rush here, for sure. But I mean, this blade is cutting really clean. There's an edge right there that's really hard to reach with this shape of blade. So I'm gonna check out these other ones. See if they have some smaller blades that come with them. Looks like this one does. Thank you very much. I'll switch that out. Pop that baby blade in there. Oh, these are weird. These feel sticky. Whatever brand this is, I never tried this before. Liberation. It feels sticky. I don't know if that's like an anti-rust coating on there. Yeah, that was a thank you for your comment, man. Thank you, Michael. So now we're going to try and get that little bit of overhang left in there with this tiny blade. And hope it doesn't scratch the inside of the ring. It's cutting pretty good. How do you sharpen the tool? So on these blades, there's kind of usually like a flatter side and a curved side. This one actually has two kind of wedge sides, so that would be harder to sharpen. But yeah, this side's a little flatter. So what you could do is kind of sand the flatter side to sharpen it. But they do usually come with a pack of blades, so it's usually much easier and more economical just to swap a blade. But I am testing a few new brands of deburring tools on this live. So let's go ahead and crack out this other one here. See how that does. This one is AFA tooling. Looks pretty good. But you can see one side of the blade has kind of a bump on it. The other side is totally flat. So you can kind of lay that down and sand it if you want to sharpen it. But it's usually easier just to change the blades. Still got a little bit of an edge we're attacking there. So far, this one is the most skippity. So you can see the way it's cutting. It's kind of jumping up and down. That's not really what I want. I'll do it a little bit more so you can see like the marks it leaves. It's cutting okay, but you can almost hear it skipping instead of cutting smoothly. That's definitely something I want to avoid with my deburring tools because I think it makes the ring look less pretty. We're going to set that one aside. I think that's probably going to be the lowest rated one. It's brand new. Literally just opened it. With these two, I also just pulled these out of the pack. The Liberation, and this one is called Noga. So far, the Noga is my favorite. I really like how comfortable this handle is. This plastic feels kind of rubbery, so it's really easy, comfortable to hold. The blade came out super sharp, so let's show you the difference of how this one's going to cut on here. It's actually going to clean up all the jumping from the other one. It's cutting so much smoother. So yeah, I think I'm going to say the Noga is going to take the cake on this one. See how much cleaner that cut is? All three of these are brand new. It's a big difference. So yeah, for a tool that I use pretty often when making these rings, I want to find the best one. So we did a little head-to-head match here. I mean, I try to show as much of the work as I can. But yeah, there's some people who underestimate, I don't know, the difficulty and attention to detail you have to have for this craft. I definitely have more respect for jewelers since I started doing this. And we almost got it. I can still feel a little bit of the edge right here. The cut on these becomes a lot less effective when the blade and what you're cutting like match an angle. Like once you have a lot of like surface area touching, the cutting doesn't work as well. Do I ever get cut while doing this? No, I've never cut myself with these. The blades are like set up in a way so that they rotate, so even if I did slip, it's pretty hard to cut myself. And I'm also not doing this really fast, so I really try to take my time. But so far, I've been lucky, haven't cut myself. Not to say that these aren't sharp. I mean, they're cutting through metal, so be careful, safety first. But no, I've never cut myself with them. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Thanks for stopping by and watching me work. If you're just joining in here, I'm Coin Ring Maker from coinringmaker.com. I make coins into rings. And today we were working on a 1 ounce fine silver Medusa round. I'll make it into a size 9.5 ring. My wife's got dibs on the first one. So this is going to her. It's got a lot of really cool sneaky snakes on it. Really nice design all the way around. It's looking really good. So this started out as kind of a hobby, just something I thought would be fun to do. But at this point, I've been doing it for about 4 years. I was able to quit my job, and I do this full time now. It's pretty sick. So thanks, TikTok. It was all going so smooth until they added TikTok Shop. So if you guys want to actually check out my shop, the link will be down here. I sure would appreciate you going and visiting, taking a look around. Yeah, I save the shavings. I mean, it's fine silver. Do I need a 50-year-old apprentice? I'm happy to help you learn. I've got a YouTube channel called Coin Ring Maker. It's got a bunch of tutorials on there. I also have a recommended tool list on my website, coinringmaker.com. That's pretty easy to find if you want to get started. I would say just try and do it for fun. Start with regular quarters. See if you can get a decent looking ring out of them. And if you still enjoy it after that, keep going. Why do I do comforting the edge for comfort? So on coins, let me see if I can find one. On coins, a lot of times there's a raised edge or a rim right on the outside of the coin. It's usually on both sides. You can see it really good right here. So when I get the coin into a ring shape, that's pretty uncomfortable, and it also kind of throws off the ring size. You can see here I haven't removed it on this one. So just so that the inside of the ring is more consistent all the way through, it's easier to size, it's more comfortable. So we just remove that inside little lip there. Do I do gold ones too? I've worked on gold before. It's definitely not my most popular coin ring. They're pretty expensive to, I mean, even inventory. But if you're interested, I'd be happy to. But I don't really keep gold coins on hand because I don't really know, what year, what type of gold coin the customer would want beforehand. So I usually wait for them to get in touch with me. Then we find the right coin for them and go on from there. What's up? Welcome to the show. Gold is a lot softer to work with, right? I think fine silver, that's what I'm working on right here, is actually softer than gold. There's a couple different carats of gold, 14 karat, 24 karat. So different alloys had different strengths. So it really depends on what the coin's made out of. But gold is, it's softer than copper. That's true. It's definitely softer than like 90% silver. But I think fine silver is actually softer than gold. At least in my experience, that's the way it feels when I work on it. Gold felt a lot like copper clad, like regular quarters. It has a really scaring melting point though. So like if you're heating up gold, it pretty much goes from solid to liquid like instantly. So if you overheat it, it's like it's too late. It's dosed. So you gotta be really careful annealing gold so you don't melt it. And copper is a lot more forgiving. You can get copper red hot and it's still not gonna melt. But gold you gotta be a little more careful with. What size coin would be good for an 11 millimeter ring? So you mean like the inside of the ring, like the inside circumference? 11 millimeters? Is that what you mean? 11 millimeters, that's pretty small. Probably a quarter. Yeah, that's like less than a that's less than a size 1. That's really small, man. If you need to get your ring size, I'd recommend visiting a jewelry store and getting size there. That's really all I can run off of. How close to a 9 are we? We're actually under a 9. So I gotta stretch it out a little bit. Size 11 ring. Okay. Size 11 is good for like $half or quarters. I can do larger. It really depends on how thick you want the band of the ring to be. So the larger the coin, the thicker the band's going to be. So for example, I'll set them side by side here. So we've got quarter, $half, 1 ounce silver round, and then like $1 right there. So if you want a really thick band, go for a larger coin. If you want kind of a cuter, thinner band, like this. Quarters are good. I think half dollars have a really nice balance. You get a decent amount of detail, and they're not super clunky either. I think those are really good for a size 11, is a half dollar. Just sitting in the car watching me. You'd be surprised how many people come and watch me while they're at work. I'm like, don't tell me that. Smooth that cut edge just a little bit with some super fine steel wool. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I do appreciate y'all stopping by and watching me work. If you want to check out the shop, the link is down here. I have a 1 ounce Mexican coin I would like made into a ring. I do have 1 ounce silver Libertads on the site that I can work on. That would be a little easier for me. If you don't mind. How much is the ring I'm making? This is a 1 ounce fine silver round. They are $300. But I do have coin rings as low as 25, so there's a pretty decent range in prices. Hey, you want to pick me up some paper towels while you're in there? I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got to stretch this out just a little bit to get to 9.5 now. I mean, I try to be fair, but I also have to make a living, so it is what it is. When I first started, my prices were definitely a little cheaper. And I don't know, I'm pretty comfortable with what I charge these days. I could probably charge a little more. But I try to have a nice range. So you can really get what you feel like. Can I put my shop back up? Yeah. Shop's down here. Use the coupon code WELCOME at checkout to save 10%. It's also linked on my TikTok profile, or you can just go to coinringmaker.com. Y'all can take a screenshot of that, save it for later. Yeah. And if anybody else has any questions, let me know. This is called a ring stretcher. What it does is it stretches rings. Pretty great at its job. But it does give the rings kind of an ugly shape, kind of cone shape. So far this one's not deforming too much, which is nice. You still have to go up about one more size. And this paper towel on here is a bit of a buffer, so we don't have direct like metal on metal contact. And that's especially important when working with fine silver to help preserve the details on the inside of the ring. So you don't want to have a bunch of metal mashing up the text and stuff in there. And make sure it stays looking nice. And that is right on 9.5. It actually looks pretty good to me. As far as shape-wise, it's got a nice little curve to it. Go ahead and clean it up a little bit and take a closer look. I like to use these polishing cloths on fine silver. Usually I use a polished compound for my other rings, but fine silver just cleans up pretty easy on its own. Just a little bit of elbow grease, we can get a really nice shine out of it. looks really cool. It's always nice when I impress myself. Polish up that inside there real quick. Well, guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that follow button. I want to see all 350 of you immediately follow me, because it's, you know, TikTok, the show where the followers don't matter and everybody wins. So hit that follow button. What coin is that? This is a 1 ounce fine silver Medusa round. I can show you what it looks like before I started. Looks like this. And that's how it's looking right now. Looks freaking sick. Like, it looks out of time. Like, it looks old. It's cool. Let's try it on. Snaky snakes. And that kind of Roman design around the whole ring is really nice. Yeah, it does kind of look Egyptian. I don't know, I dig it. I think that came out great. Well, y'all, check out the shop. Use the coupon code WELCOME to save 10%. If you have any questions, let me know. That came out really good. Just lovely. Yeah, go ahead and take a screenshot of this real quick. It's going to have my website right here, coinringmaker.com, as well as a 10% off coupon code WELCOME. That's good forever. So make sure to save that. Go shopping whenever you want to get a cool ring. Why are the 2021 Type 1 and 2 plus $40? Because they're more expensive to source. There's two different types. They made two different types of Silver Eagles. It was a transition year for the design on the back of that 1 ounce silver round. So there's like a higher premium on them because it's a new thing for coins. So it just costs more for me to source. What do they look like? Just a moment. So here's a cool little coin lesson for you guys. 2021 was a transition year for the American Silver Eagle. You can see the mint, or the year is different. Like the text is different. It's much smaller on this one compared to the large date here. And on the back here, this is the new design. And this is the one they retired. They've been using this one since, I believe, the 70s or early 80s. And now this is what the back of American Silver Eagles look like. So for 2021, they did a transition year where they made both types of designs. So these are kind of collector-ish-y and have a bit of a higher premium on them. I do like the larger year. I think it looks better on rings, whereas this one is kind of just a little too small for my taste. So I am glad that they made the year on this side a little more defined. But other than that, they didn't really change too much on the front of the coin. There is a mint mark here, but most of the change happened on the back. You have this kind of flying eagle compared to this really nice symmetrical design. They're both good. I like both of them. But yeah, that's why this year's a little bit more expensive. If anybody else wants to check out the shop, the link will be down here. Again, take a screenshot of this if you don't feel like shopping now, but you want to check out the site later. It's coinringmaker.com. 10% off coupon code right there. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm just going to keep polishing this thing, make it crazy shiny. Yeah. What is meant by center punch option? Sorry it took me a minute to answer your question. So if you look at this coin right here, the first step of making a coin into a ring is punching the middle out of the coin. And that usually leaves something like this with a really nifty design on it. And I like to incorporate these two kind of add-on options for the coin ring itself. So you don't have to get one. You can get the center punch if you like. You want to make something out of it. I also offer to make these into necklaces and keychains. So there's a couple options for them. It's really up to you. If you prefer just to get the ring, you can do that, but that's what the center punch is. I haven't really thought of a better name for it. I do have quite a few people ask me, like, what the heck does that mean? But that's what it is. So you can have kind of like a matching set with your ring made out of the same coin. That kind of thing. Hit the follow button if you haven't yet. If anybody would like to see a coin ring made live for you, shop's down here. I have coin rings ranging from $25 up to $300. Really depends on what you're looking for. If you have questions, trying to narrow that down, I'd be happy to help you. But yeah, if we get an order here in the next few minutes, I'd be happy to make it live for you. No buffing wheel. This is all done by hand-powered tools. Nothing plugged in. No electricity. All these bad boys right here. I mean, I do use a 1-ton arbor press and a ring stretcher. These things over here, these are the most mechanized things I used, but they're all powered by hand cranks. It's all leverage. I have some people fly all over me. They say I make them handmade, and then I use those, but those are hand-operated tools, you know? Don't plug them in. I think that counts. No buffing wheel. I got a nice mirror finish on there. Hello. I might actually hit this with a little bit of polish. Just so my wife's like, dang. Make it really, really shiny. This is the polishing cloth I use. I found these at Walmart at first. Now I order them like 10 packs off Amazon. They're really good, especially for fine silver. Really, really good. Called Connoisseur. Most of this polish that this company puts out, I'm not a big fan of, but these disposable wipes are really very good. Like this stuff, don't get this. This is dumb. Yeah, no problem. If anybody else has any questions, let me know. We're going to be using Mother's Mag and aluminum polish on this to just kind of knock that shine up a little bit. Want any beer? Hell yeah. Give me some red stripe, bro. My man. That's a good guy right there. Well, I don't usually do this, but I think it would be fun. If you guys have any super low level TikTok gifts you want to drop them. Send a little heart emoji. Send a little, I don't know, some kind of animated, cheap TikTok gift. Let's see how many gifts we can light this screen up with. How often do I polish my jewelry? Every time I make a ring. Everything I make also goes to my wife. Yes, she has first dibs on everything. But I got this round particularly for her. She's a big fan of Medusa. So I knew she would like it. But I also knew it would make a badass coin ring, so I got a couple extra. For you guys, if anybody wants some. They're not on the website yet, because this is the first one I've made. But I think they definitely passed the vibe check. They're going to make good rings. Alright, so that's after the mothers. Got a lot of gunk off of there. And then we'll do a follow-up with those polish wipes again. Make it really shiny. But yeah, check out the shop, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll go ahead and pin that down here again. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this live, make sure to hit the follow button so you can catch me next time I make cool coins into rings. And I don't know, if you got a free 15 seconds, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Coin Ring Maker. I can always use more subscribers over there. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Hope this came out really cool. Can I make pretty thin coin ring? So the thinnest coin ring I make is out of mercury dimes. I don't have one that's super great finish. This one I messed up, so I didn't punch it right in the middle. So it's thinner on one side than the other. But yeah, those are the thinnest ones I make. Quarters come out relatively thin. I think they're good for men and women. It's a nice, I think like 5mm band. Double check. I never measure. So let's do it today. 5.5. That's pretty close. That was pretty close. Yeah. Quarters are good for everyone, I think. The problem with the dimes is I can only make them so big. There's not a very good size range for those because they're so small and so thin. They break really easy. The quarters is what I started working on, so I have a lot more confidence making quarter coin rings. Oh yeah, it's got that shine now. Y'all think I earned some brownie points today? So we can get a little closer. It's always hard to focus on rings with this camera. Look at all them little snakes. Having a little snake party. Looks freaking great. Like, it looks so good you wouldn't expect it to be made out of a coin. You would just be like, oh, that's just a cool ring, right? Nah, dude. This was handmade out of a fine silver round. Live on TikTok. That looks cool. Start to finish, how long to make? 4 hours? Says I've been live for an hour and 1 minute. But I've also been making these for like 4 years, so I wouldn't say that most people could make this as quickly or as well. But I mean, yeah, I made this in an hour. They came out freaking sick. But yeah, that's a metric I really try not to pay too much attention to. Some rings take much longer. Sometimes you can just blast through it. The coin's really cooperative, or the size isn't that difficult to get to. I don't know. Every time I make one, I get a little quicker, I'm sure. But I still do try to take my time and not rush, because rushing is probably the worst thing you can do when you're trying to make jewelry. Because that's when you're going to mess up. So I really try not to worry about how long it takes me to make one. I think what's more important is how it looks when I'm done. And like you guys are saying, it looks great. I have to agree with you. I've impressed myself today. Looks really good. Absolutely. Absolutely made with love. So this is a 1 ounce fine silver round. I do have quite a few design options for these. They are $300. I've got half ounce silver rounds for $150 and quarter ounce silver rounds for $100 if the 300 is a little out of your budget. I understand that, but look at that handmade beautiful ring, fine silver, and it's got some weight to it too, and some shine. Look how shiny that thing is. It's so pretty. Like, that is gonna get attention. I can tell. That's a good looking ring. These aren't on the site yet because this is the first one I've made, but after I take a couple pictures of it, it'll definitely be on there within about a week. If anybody else has any questions, let me know. Probably gonna hop off of here pretty soon. I do appreciate y'all spending some time with me and watching me work today. And I hope you had a good time. Used never dull, no need to polish. Shines every metal. I'll have to check it out. I've never used never dull. Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you guys. This was a good live. I didn't mess up. You use never dull as well? Alright, I took a screenshot of your comments, so I'll check that out. The two polishes I've been messing with the most lately, this is my go-to, is Mother's Mag and aluminum. But I've also been experimenting with Flitz. And it's not bad. I still like Mother's more, but this is a little cleaner. Where do you find my shop? Just take a screenshot of these two cool things right here. You'll have my website and a 10% off coupon code. So I'll just leave that there for a sec. Never dull. All right, I'm gonna check it out, guys. Any other recommendations before I hop off of here? Always love trying new things. We'll get one final look at this bad boy before we hop off of here. Hey Splash, we got a new coin ring done today. This is a Medusa round, so it's got a bunch of sneaky snakes on it. I'm doing good. Unfortunately, you caught me just leaving. But I hope you're doing well. Looks really cool. Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Peace.